I can see her lying back in her satin dress, in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round.
Happy Homebrew Wednesday. So I have, this is exciting, my very first lager of the year. If you can see that color there, that's a Oktoberfest. I'm calling it Septemberfest. This is the one I talked about last video. I think it was last video. I'm just gonna drink this one. I'm gonna enjoy it because I normally do the Oktoberfest and it goes in like an hour down at the Blocktoberfest party. So I'm just gonna enjoy this one. Cheers. It's good. 6.3%. It's kind of like a Marzen, actually. It's got a little bit of biscuity, kind of toasty character to it, which I like. I use some Vienna. I've got all the different malts I use in this thing, but go back to the brew day and you'll see it. And Tettnang was the hops, and I didn't have the Oktoberfest yeast, so I used Munich Lager yeast from Y-Yeast Smackpack Munich Lager. Came out really nice. Did the Brewlosophy 3-week method, so it's probably been around for about 4 weeks now, I guess. 3.5 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks. 3 weeks would have been Friday or Saturday. But it is good. So I've got a problem of having, first world problem of having too many beers on tap. I've got Old School Double IPA. I have, or Serpent's Ring, I'm calling it now. It's a astrological, not astrological. It's a astronomical thing. Astronomy, yeah, it's astronomical thing. It's a celestial body kind of deal. I've got a little bit more of Lighthouse Saison, and then I have this Septemberfest. So I need to brew. Oh, exciting news. So I'm going to be hosting the 2018 Brewtubers Hop Experiment. If we only do one this year, it would be the 2018 Brewtubers Hop Experiment. It's going to be a double IPA recipe. Pretty simple grain bill. And then I'm letting the brewers, it's going to be about 8.2%-ish ABV target. And then I'm allowing them to pick 3 hops, one for bittering, which I don't care if they're all the same, and then one for finishing and one for dry that we're going to try to keep unique. So I'm doing Centennial, Palisades, and Citra. And I'm doing those because that's a lot of the ones I picked up out at National Homebrew Convention. So, so anyway, if you haven't brewed Old School Double IPA before, everything except for the hops, that's the base recipe. So pale, a bunch of pale, a little bit of caramel 30, and then American ale yeast, and then hops. I generally try to get 87 IBUs. So we're going to do three hops. I use certain hops. I use Simcoe and Citra, and a little bit of either Columbus or Magnum for bittering for Old School Double IPA. This one I'm kind of changing up a little bit, but it'll be the brewer's choice of how they get 87 IBUs. So that's going to be fun. I'm should have all the bottles back to me by mid-October, so that I'll send them out. So they'll all have some nice freshly brewed double IPAs just in time for Halloween season. And then we'll all get to do videos of all the different hop characteristics it gives, and it'll be fun having all those dippas. Don't say diapers. Diapers. Sounds like you're saying diaper in New Yorkese. All those double IPAs. So that'll be fun. So I got that. I got my scores back from the Dominion Cup. Didn't do very well at all on Lighthouse Saison, which surprised me because I think that thing tastes like Tank 7 and Saison DuPont. I think it's very, 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 very close. They kind of ding me on clarity, which I don't really give a shit about a Saison. I mean, you guys have had my beers before. I take clarity pretty seriously, although I didn't do any clarifying on this one. I figured it would just lager forever and get clear. But I normally, really, really careful with how how I siphon it in and use gelatin as my clarifying agent. But yeah, they dinged me a little bit on that on the Saison, and then they said it didn't attenuate enough, which I can kind of see that, but I kind of like the sweetness with the spiciness in it. I think it's very, very. I could probably take Saison DuPont and get those same judges to sit down, and I don't think they could pick them apart. I'd be willing to bet. So, wearing my national shirt because we got our asses spanked yesterday, 12-1 by the damn Marlins. So, I'm hoping this will, with our day off, you know, more rooting for my team I can do, the better. So I'm going to go up against the Phillies. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so I got a 29, I think was my average score on the Saison. I was a little disappointed with that because I thought it was a better beer than that. However, the barley wine, on the other hand, kicked arse. Not only did it kick arse, for some reason I didn't win in the category that it was put in, which was American barley wine. But it scored really high. Its average score with two BJCP samplings was 40, which, I mean, one was like 41, the other one was 39, so it was an average of 40. I thought it did really well, and I'm surprised it didn't win in its category. They must have had another one that was rated even higher, you know. But it went to the best of show round, which I've never done before, and that's pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know how many of the beers, you know, proceeded on to the best of show, but I was very, very happy with the score, and I was very happy that it made it to the next round. Just wish I would have medaled somehow in the category. I would have figured with a 40 you should have, you know, I mean, that's an excellent score. I figured you would have, you know, gotten some kind of medal out of that. But I still have a shitload of that barley wine, so I'm going to have to send some more of those in different, I mean, because it ages, right? But I think the score may tend to go down because one of the things they said in the barley wine that would have bumped it up to the world-class category was if there was a bit more hop character because it was American barley wine. So I'll have to go back and pull out the recipe and maybe do some better dry hopping or something. Maybe put something in there with a little bit of 4MMP cattiness to give a little more American, or put it in as a British barley wine maybe. But I think I used American yeast. So anyway, yeah, it's already 7 minutes, and I've just been rambling on about beer stuff. You know, nothing random, other than the Nationals plug. So my wife came back from the work trip. All things good. Job is going really well. I had a work conference last week. I was in Omaha, and I don't know if I have any video, but I'll try to throw in some pictures. We went to the steakhouse, and I'll talk about it first, and then I'll throw the picture up. But we went to this steakhouse called Prime, Omaha Prime. It's in the Old Market area of Omaha, and this place was off the freaking hook. I mean, they bring a showroom of steaks over to your table. This guy wheels this little cart over, and he holds up this steak called the tomahawk. It was a ribeye. It's like a big hunk of meat on the end of a rib, and Ryan Lewis made a reference to a guide, I guess some chef, on YouTube that shows him cutting up, you know, a steak like that. But they held that thing up, and they showed us a Kansas City strip, and then all these things were like dry seasoned, dry aged. I don't know what, you know, probably fermented with hops. These things. There was one steak on there that was like, it was like $96, which is probably cheap. I don't know, for me, I've never paid that much money for a steak before, but I had the 11-ounce filet mignon, and holy mackerel, it was amazing. It was so good that when I got back, my mother-in-law, who's here, said, hey, you know, your wife is coming back from Chicago, because my wife was in Chicago. I was coming back from Omaha on Thursday, this past Thursday evening. Heather was coming in Sunday from Chicago. So we went to the farmer's market early in the morning. I'm kind of rambling now, but this is good stuff. So we went to the farmer's market early in the morning, trying to find some of it, because they usually have meat dudes there with, like, you know, grass-fed beef and stuff in the coolers. You got to get there at like 6:30 or something. It sells out pretty quick. So we got there at like 9:30, 10, all the beef was gone. There was nothing but lamb and chicken, which I thought was kind of strange because around here in Virginia, there's all these so-called vegans running around that don't eat beef, but apparently, you know, not the ones that go to the farmer's market early in the morning. So I ended up having to go to Costco. Took my son there, which it's never hard to twist his arm to get him to go to Costco on the weekends because that's when they have all the free sampling, you know, setups like at every corner when you're going through the meat section, and you know. Yeah, we were scarfing down some bratwurst and whatever else they would put out for us. But we picked up some massive ribeyes, and they were like the best looking ribeyes, you know, because you always want a little bit of marbling, but the marbling was kind of slight, so you could see that it was there, but it was soft, so it wasn't like, these things were like, you know, like this thick. I bought like 8 of them, and we grilled those things last night. So my wife gets home last night. We had the steak. I mean, it was, I said, all right, I'm going to focus on making the steak cooked as well. And we like medium rare, cooked as perfectly as these ones were at prime. And I think I did a pretty good job. They came out really, really nice. We still have a couple steaks left over that I cooked. So I'll do some steak salad tomorrow. I mean, I'm talking a lot of, I'm trying to kind of cut back on my eating. So I'm probably thinking about food quite a bit. Anyway, I'll cut it off there. If I still have 3 slots open on the, if you're in the Brew Tubers group, you know, come and shoot me a note. I got 3 slots open if you want to be part of the challenge. Sorry to the European folks, or you know, outside continental United States. I'm trying to keep it Kona so it makes shipping easy for me. But look forward to filling in 3 more slots and having a total of 12. Hey, have yourself a happy homebrew and have a very, very, oh, look at this. It's got a this little mustache glass, right? It's got the little fill line, which I had. You can see that. It's from Germany. Have yourself a happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers.